Hello there. I'm here with Carolyn Vines, who is currently writing her memoir called Black and Abroad. And I'm going to ask her some questions today about the process of writing the book. So, hello, Carolyn.
Hello, Joe.
Okay, here's a tricky one. Self-belief can be a big problem for writers. So, how, Carolyn, do you stay confident in yourself and manage to believe that you are good enough to write this book?
I think that's one of the biggest obstacles when writing a book, and it's an ongoing process. And I try to come up with small things, or I have discovered small things that help me to keep up my confidence. Number one is I've been writing a blog, blackandabroad.com, and amazingly enough, it's recently won the Best International Blog Award from the Black Weblog. And something like that is just motivating. It helps you to realize that people are reading what you're writing and it resonates with them enough to vote for you, to put that confidence in you. So something like that, winning an award, is brilliant for the self-confidence. Also, I have been working with you for the past, I think, year, and you have been mentoring me. And the sessions that we've had have been incredibly inspirational.
Thank you.
So I think finding a mentor and or an editor who believes in what you're doing, I think boosts the confidence. There are no words to explain what a boost it is that a professional, someone who knows what they're doing, actually believes in what you're doing. Another way that I've found to keep my confidence is actually through another book that I've read called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And one of the tasks that the book asks you to do is morning pages. And that's every morning you wake up and you sit down and you write 3 full pages of whatever's on your mind. And you get it out of your head and onto the paper. And I started doing that a few years ago, right before I made the commitment to write my own book. And that is also an incredible way for me to, I think, get real with myself and to cut through all the crazy things going through my mind and to focus on what's true, and that is the writing. So those are just a few ways that I keep my self-confidence.
Oh, thank you. I think they were very inspirational. My next question is about writer's block, and maybe this one's a bit connected to the last question. It's quite easy to procrastinate. I was wondering if you had any tips to help others know how you manage to keep on going and keep writing every day or keep to your deadlines.
Again, I have a few small things that I do. One is that I made a commitment to write this book. And sometimes when I feel like I don't want to sit down anymore and do this, I remind myself, hey, you made a commitment, so come on, let's get to it. And part of that then is something I read, I think, in some writer's magazine. The writer of the article had said that what it comes down to is simple ass in chair time. And I loved that when I read it. And so once I've reminded myself of my commitment, then I say, okay, Carolyn, now is ass in chair time, period. Do it. And it usually works because there's a little humor in it. But probably what helps me the most is that I have taken to adopting the sort of morning pages process that I just talked about. I do that. I sit down and write 2 full pages before I get to my book. And that way, I, again, clear everything out of my head so that I can focus on the task at hand. So yeah, there in that respect, I don't get writer's block very much because I've learned a few things that I can do when I feel stuck to get myself unstuck.
Thank you. What
I think it's been figuring out what my own process is, my own writing process, because I've read so many books and articles about how you should write, and I personally believe that we're all individuals, so we have our own process. But of course, you have to find out what it is. So it's a lot of trial and error. And what was the second part of the question?
and how have you overcome the challenge?
How have I overcome the? I've stuck at it. When writing hasn't been going well, what I've considered hasn't been going well, then I've tried another approach. You know, you try a different approach, you get a different result. Until I got to the point where I was able to sit down at a particular time on a particular day and do my morning pages, for example, writing, clearing my mind before I sat down to write, and telling myself to do it, take it one step at a time. And instead of thinking of the entire book, I focus on one chapter and I forget about the rest of the book and say, okay, this is what you're working on. Don't think about the rest will come. Focus here. And I constantly remind myself that it's my process. I don't have to do it the way other people do it. So and it seems to work for me. So
thank you very much. I believe that getting feedback is very important in order to help you recognise when your writing's really good and find ways of making it even better. How do you go about getting feedback for your work?
I've done that mostly through my blog. There's nothing more satisfying than to have a reader make a comment about what you've written. And not only that, but I have found over the past couple of years that I've been blogging is that I get repeat customers, and so to speak, are these return readers, and they continue to comment. And no, they don't necessarily say, oh my goodness, you're a brilliant writer, I love your technique. They don't say things like that, but they do say that they love the blog. They do say that what I write about resonates with them, and they keep coming back to my blog. So that to me is brilliant feedback.
Great, thank you. If you were to give advice to somebody else who's thinking about writing their life story as a memoir or as anecdotes in another book, but certainly writing a book based on their own experiences, what do you think your number one tip would be?
Honestly, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I could give 1,000 practical tips on the hows and on the whys, as others have given to me. But it doesn't really mean anything until and unless you get some ass in chair time and make the commitment and just do it.
Sound advice there from Carolyn Vines, the author of Black and Abroad. Thank you.